People are still joining, huh? All right, let's go to the questions now. Half times diagonal 1 multiplied by diagonal. So, the area is 12 square centimeter. What's the area of diagonal of rhombus? Half times diagonal 1 multiplied by diagonal 2 comes out to be 12. That means the value of d1 multiplied by d2 is 24. That's what we know. Side length is given as 5 centimeter. Yeah, Prerna, this is the first slide. The first slide is question itself. Okay, so d1 is 24. That's what we know. Let us try to draw the rhombus. I hope all of you have gone through the previous classes, right? This thing is given as 5. This is d1 and this is d2. Okay. We need to find the length of longer diagonal. So let us assume that d1 is greater than d2. We need to find that. So we have this one equation, let it be equation number 1. And other thing is we can apply Pythagoras theorem, right? So if I apply Pythagoras theorem over here, then this side is d1 by 2, this side is d2 by 2. So d1 by 2 whole square plus d2 by 2 whole square will be equal to square of 5. Is that understood? Shruti, thanks for that. That's understandable. So let us try to solve this one. d1 square plus d2 square. We'll have 4 in the denominator. This will be 100. So we have this equation as well as we have this equation. हरिद्वार अगोरी बाबा कपड़े नहीं पहनते तनिष्क और भूल भुलैया में तांत्रिक था वो काले कपड़े थे ये काले नहीं है. Okay, so there are various ways to solve it. We can do one thing. We can just replace d1 with 24 by d2 and place the value of d1 in terms of d2 over here and solve it for d1 and d2, right? That is one way. There are various ways to solve the question, right? d1 plus d2 whole square can be done. Yeah. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. 6 क्या होगा अंकित? Multiple ways, right? Gunjan, 5 square plus 5 square is d1 square. ऐसे कैसे ले लोगे? This is 5, no? Side is 5. So in this triangle, 5 is the hypotenuse and d1 by 2 and d2 by 2 are the sides, isn't it? Is that right? Is the equation right, everyone? Any doubt with the equations? No? So let me write the values now. d1, d2 is 24 and d1 square plus d2 square is given as 100. Is the equation clear, everyone? The equation is clear, right? Now we can do various things. First, as you know, d1 plus d2, I can take the whole square. We know the formula. That is d1 square plus d2 square plus 2d1 d2, right? We can plug in the values. Gunjan, rhombus sides are equal, of course. So, but those sides जो हैं, वो 90 degree में नहीं होती ना Gunjan. In rhombus, the sides are not, the adjacent sides are not at 90 degrees. The diagonals bisect at 90 degrees. Alright, Gunjan, that's the reason. So, let's put in the values. We can get d1 plus d2 is equal to square root of this value, which is 100 plus 24. So, we have 100 plus 48. We have 148 here. Cool? No, Vatsal, we cannot use number interpreter because it's not integral. We'll get fractions over here. कुछ कर सकते हैं इसके साथ? d1 plus d2, if you solve it, you will get 2 root 37, isn't it? Because 148 is 37 into 4. Okay. So we have this value. Let this be equation number 1. And we also know that d1 minus d2 whole square is given by d1 square plus d2 square minus 2d1 d2, right? Which means if I solve this, I'll get d1 minus d2 is equal to square root of 100 minus 48, that is 52. If you will solve this one, you will get 413, 2 root 13 is what we get. Let this be equation number 2. We have equation 1, equation 2, and if I add them up, I'll get the value of d1. If I subtract, I'll get the value of d2, isn't it? Okay, so if I add 1 and 2, what will I get? d2 gets cancelled. All we have is 2d1 is equal to 2 times root 37 plus root 13. 2 gets cancelled. All we have is d1, that is root 37 plus root 13. I hope some of you got this value. Clear? That is the answer. It's irrational. Clear to everyone? Perfect. Let's do one more question. The sides AB and CD of a trapezium, ABCD, are parallel, with AB being the smaller side. P is the midpoint of CD, and ABPD is a parallelogram. It's the difference between the areas of parallelogram ABPD and the triangle BBC is 10 square centimeter, then area in square centimeter of trapezium is what? अक्षर तक वो कोई cool way नहीं था यार, वही way है. There's no other way. Like there's some questions in which we actually have to solve things. Gunjan, yeah, right, make a note of it. Take a chart paper, note the areas, perimeter and volume का formula, paste it on your study table and see it every day. We also have this formula book on iQuanta's website. You can just download it anyway and get a printout and stick across your walls. Just look at it every day. Okay? Chalo, let's do this one. Now this looks like a better diagram. अरे मैंने फॉर्मूला तो नहीं बोला, फॉर्मूला तो मैंने पहले ही बोला डिराइव हो जाता है इजीली, मैंने फॉर्मूला लगाने को बोला, यहाँ लगेगा. Anshita has got the answer. She says 30. Let's see what others think. These are midpoints, right? So these two are equal. P is the midpoint. Childhood house. Yeah, it does. There is one thing which all of us know, isn't it? Like I can assume height to be h and these two to be b each. We can do that, right? And let this value be a. Okay. So what is the sum of what is the area of a trapezium or a parallelogram? And also, because it is a parallelogram, that means AB and PD will be equal. That also means that I can replace B with A, yes or no? These two will be A. Life is simple. The question is easy. Right? As simple as that. So area of this ABPD, A, B, B, D, will be base into height, that is AH. And area of this triangle, B, P, C, will be half into base into height. It's also known that difference between these two, AH minus AH by 2, is given as 10, which means AH is equal to 20. We got the answer. That is AH. Overall, so AH is basically ABPD, right? Overall trapezium is AH plus half AH. The answer is 30. Very good. Those who solved it, perfect. Why DP is equal to A? See 2A कैसे होगा? See, ABPD is a parallelogram, and in a parallelogram, what happens? In a parallelogram, the opposite sides are parallel as well as equal. Yes or no? Right? Chintan, Sanskar, Archie. Yes or no? ABPD is a parallelogram. It's given in the question itself. What's the property of a parallelogram? The opposite sides are equal and parallel. सबको मैंने ये मान लिया. How 30? Lakshya Raj, of course. They're asking about the area of the entire trapezium. What we have found over here, AH is 20. We found only ABPD. This is 20, this is 10. So area of trapezium is sum of this parallelogram ABPD and triangle BBC. 20 plus 10 is 30. Okay? Question looked difficult, but it is simple, right? Chalo. Also, now look at this. Parallelogram, this is A, this is A, this is A. Right? So let me join this and this point. A, and height is common, isn't it? The height is common. It says the difference between this and this is 10. तो यहाँ दो लोग यहाँ एक है. दो में से एक कम क्या 10 आ रहा है. मतलब हर कोई 10 का होगा. We got the answer as 30. That's it. You don't even have to do a lot of calculation. Perfect. Did this way make a very good. Right. Simple things. यही क्या भविष्य? Very good. Let's do the next one. A park is shaped like a rhombus and has area 96 square meter. If 40 meter of fencing is needed to enclose the park, the cost in INR of laying electric wires along its two diagonals at the rate of 125 per meter is what? Chintan, क्योंकि height same था, base भी same है, triangles equally होंगे Chintan, isn't it? Because the base and height was same for all the triangles. Base same दिखाई दे ही गया था और parallelogram दो parallel lines के बीच में है तो height भी same होगा. 40 meter of fencing is required. What does that mean? That means the perimeter, if I assume the sides to be A each, that means the fence, like 4A is equal to 40, which means A is equal to 10, right? That's what you understand. Clear? And area is 96, that means half times d1 into d2 is 96, which also means d1 multiplied by d2 is 192. All right, very much similar to the previous question, the same kind of working over here, isn't it? A is 10, I can apply Pythagoras theorem here. So d1 upon 2 square plus d2 upon 2 square will be equal to square of A, that is 100, which means d1 square plus d2 square is equal to 400. We have this equation, we have this, combining these we can do a lot of things, which we did earlier. Yeah, Lakshman, exactly. Previous question. Okay, it says laying electrical wires along its diagonal. So basically we need to do what? We need to find 125 times d1 plus d2. Do you agree? This is what we need to find. A lot of people might be calculating d1 separately, then d2 separately, then multiplying by 125, and then adding it up. By the way, all of it is not required. We can get the value of d1 plus d2 directly, isn't it? And then multiply it by 125. Done the same way? So d1 plus d2 will be equal to square root of d1 square plus d2 square plus 2d1 d2. Let's find it out. The same way, very good. So we get d1 plus d2 as, this is 400, that is 192, cut double, 384, 784 plus square root is 28. Wow. Such a beautiful number, we got the exact square root. 28 and 125. Clear? d1 plus d2 is 28. 28 multiplied by 125 is what we need to calculate. कैसे करूँ मैं इसको? 7, 5, 35. 3500 is the answer. Okay, तो यहाँ पे d1 d2 अलग निकालने की जरूरत थी नहीं. किसी ने निकाला है तो अपना टाइम वेस्ट किया. It's not required at all. By the way, do you guys want me to tell that how I multiplied this so quickly? How do you multiply? By using either the calculator. Very good, Rohit. ये तो calculator किया होगा, normally multiply किया होगा. मैं जल्दी कैसे किया पता है? You want to know? Okay. You know what? I love such numbers. 5, 25, 75, 100, 125. I just love these numbers. You know why? I love these numbers because, see, in terms of percentage, like this one is 1 by 4, isn't it? This is 3 by 4. This is 4 by 4. This is 5 by 4. In terms of percentage, essentially they are nothing but 1 by 4 into 100. Basically 100 has multiply हो रहा है. Percentage बोल ही चुका हूँ मैं, तो 100 में भूल जाता हूँ. I ignore 100. All I have is like 125 and 28 is what I need to calculate. In my mind, you know what I did? I replaced this by 5 by 4. I got 7. 5 is 35. Bringing back those two zeros. That's the answer. So that is how I did in my mind. ये देखो क्या किया मैंने यहाँ पे. Very good, Mohit. Very good, Ajay. ये नंबर्स तो फेवरेट होते हैं. एंड में 5 दिख रहा है, 25, 75. बस समझ लो किस्मत अच्छी है. See, in this question it is not going to help you much. एक सेकंड बचा लोगे. But DI में this is going to help you a lot, isn't it? DI में these things help, saving at least 2 minutes. Let's do one more. What's the side length of the largest equilateral triangle that could be put inside a square of side length 1 centimeter? For this you have 3 minutes. यश रूट वाला थिंग कौन सा? तो रिफ्रेज करो अपने क्वेरी को, पहले सॉल्व कर लो फिर बताना क्या पूछ रहे हो एग्जैक्टली. सबका आंसर जल्दी आ गया, मैंने 3 मिनट दिए थे, कुछ तो सोचा होगा मैंने 3 मिनट देगा क्वेश्चन एग्जैक्टली। सबने 1 सेंटीमीटर निकाल दिया है। मनोज, तुलसी मनोज, 1 से कम 1 तो होगा ही ना यार, 0.7 से तो पॉसिबल नहीं है। आंसर 1 है, मस्ट हैव डन, आई थिंक यू मेड द स्क्वायर एंड पुट द ट्रायंगल लाइक दिस, है ना, ऐसा ही है ना, बोल दिया आंसर 1 है, isn't it? That's how you guys must have done it. Those who got 1 is the answer. Almost everyone got that answer, right? ऐसे ही किया होगा। बट कमाल की बात यह है कि if you want to fit in the a triangle, an equilateral triangle of maximum area, it will look something like this. Yes or no? Right? That is the best way you can do it. There's no other way. And because it is a regular figure, square is a regular figure, equilateral triangle is a regular figure, it's a regular figure, right? So things are symmetric, which means I can assume this to be x and this to be x, right? This is of course 1, this is also 1, which means this will be 1 minus x and this will be 1 minus x. Things will be symmetric, right? Now, and this side, let the side be, जो हमें find करना है, let that be a. So applying Pythagoras theorem here, I'll get the value a square is equal to x square plus 1, isn't it? कीर्ति पहले टाइम गलत इसलिए था क्योंकि उससे ज़्यादा बड़ा ट्रायंगल उसके अंदर आ सकता है ना, ये बहुत जगह बची हुई थी। देखो थोड़ा टिल्ट तो करना ही पड़ेगा, would have to tilt the triangle, that is the only way you can fit in the triangle of maximum area, isn't it? So a square is x square plus 1, also like this is a, applying Pythagoras theorem over here, I get a square is equal to 1 minus x whole square plus 1 minus x whole square. That's what I get. Yes or no? I have these two equations, and as you can see, left hand side is equal, and all of us know LHS बराबर करने के लिए we'll have to equate the right hand side of both the equations. So x square plus 1 is equal to, this is 2 times 1 minus x whole square. Right, Harsh? Okay, now we can solve this. So x square plus 1 will be equal to, if I kind of expand it, what do I get? X square minus 2x plus 1, bracket closed. Let's solve it. So we have x square plus 1 is equal to 2x square minus 4x plus 2. This is what we have. Now I'll use this space by changing the color so that you don't get confused. Okay, let's solve this one. X square goes there. So we have x square minus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. That is what we have in the end. Is that right? This is how we can get the value of x. Is that right, everyone? Understood? So let's solve for x. We'll get x is equal to, applying that Sridharacharya formula, minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac. So we have 16 minus 4, that is 12, whole upon 2, right? Plus minus hai yahan pe. So this will be 2 plus minus 2 root 3 upon 2. And as you know, we have to maximize. That means I will not take the minus value with the positive value. So we have root 3 plus 1. That is the value of x. It's not the answer. That is the value of x. To find the value of a actually. चलो ईशा आते हैं, ईशा हर्ष फिगर पे आते हैं, ठीक है, कीर्ति फिगर पे आते हैं। पहले इसको सॉल्व कर लें, इक्वेशन जल्दी सॉल्व कर लें। सॉल्व द इक्वेशन, देन विल गो देयर। लक्ष्यराज, श्रीधराचार्य फॉर्मूला। फोर होगा ना, हाँ मैंने 4 ही तो लिखा है यहाँ पे, तो यहाँ 2 लिख दिया, इसको 4 कर देते हैं। ठीक है, पहले क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लेते हैं, आई विल टेल यू हाउ टू ड्रॉ द फिगर। दिस इज 4 plus minus 2 root 3. It cannot be negative and it can also be not more than 1, isn't it? 1 से बड़ा नहीं हो सकता. So if I take the positive value 2 plus root 3, it will be greater than 1. So all I will take is 2 minus root 3. That will be exact value of x. Is that right? So x cannot be negative and x cannot be greater than 1. हाँ, achieve 4 होगा, ठीक है? So that is why the value of x is 2 plus root 3. Agreed, everyone? We need to find the value of a actually. So let us put the value of x over here and get the answer. So a square is equal to, इसका square कर दो, you'll get 4 plus 3, 7 minus 4 root 3 plus 1, which means the value of a will be 8 minus 4 root 3. Square root of 8 minus 4 root 3. Sridharacharya formula, yeah, of course, I'll do that. Quadratic equations किया तो होगा algebra में. Haven't you done it? Did it? No. Okay. So, आगे solve कर लोगे ना? So a will be equal to, let's take 4 common outside, so 2 will be coming outside, and we'll have 2 minus root 3 inside this. Okay. So I think a lot of questions are there. First, Sridharacharya formula, I explained that. Also the last step and how to draw the figure. There are 3 queries which I can see over here. The last step, this one, this y 2 minus root 3. So tell me something. There are 2 possibilities, plus wala and minus wala. If I take plus wala possibility, 2 plus root 3, it will be greater than 1, isn't it? Right? Munshi and others. If I take positive value, it will be more than 1. और यहाँ दिखाई दे रहा है कि x की वैल्यू अगर ये पूरा 1 है और ये x छोटा सा पार्ट है तो x 1 से बड़ा तो हो ही नहीं सकता, isn't it? X has to be smaller than 1. That is why I took the negative part. Root 3 की value 1.732 होती है. All of us know that. So 2 minus root 3 will be less than 1, of course. Understood? All right. Then what is not understood? We need to find the value of a. We got the value of x. Let's put the value of x over here and get the answer. As simple as that. Rohit, I think I explained that. To maximize a, but a has to be less than 1. Okay. So I think it's clear to everyone. No problem there. Now, 2 queries. One is how to draw this diagram. Other is what is Sridharacharya formula. So let me discuss one by one. If I have a quadratic equation like this, ax square plus bx plus c equal to, you cannot factorize it normally, then I use this formula. X is equal to minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac whole upon 2a. So we get 2 values because there are 2 roots of quadratic equation. One is by positive, other is by negative. All right. This is known as Sridharacharya formula. Okay. Now the other queries. What all things can be done? So the first thing which comes to your mind is draw the triangle like this. Therefore, thought of this is 1, this is 1, this is 1. Now I don't think I need to explain why there is not a suitable diagram, because to maximize the triangle I can go further. But if I go further, the triangle will go outside of the square. There should be some other way. Okay, the other way, someone is saying why not take the diagonal? If you take a diagonal, then of course if this is 1, this is 1, this will be root 2, so it won't be an equivalent triangle anymore. The only way to accommodate the maximum space is to fit the triangle in such a way that it is uniformly fit first of all, and it covers all the areas. So I will try to match, to superimpose the vertex of the triangle and the square on each other. I chose this vertex. I can choose any vertex. So I took the triangle, put it over here, like this. So in this way, I can take the maximum area by putting it on the vertex uniformly. Aryan, I think अभी समझ में आ गया होगा. तुम्हारा सवाल बिल्कुल सही है, but अभी when I explained that, I think it's understandable now. Aditya, I think your query is also solved. All right. Of course, Harsh. Putting on the vertex the best way, no? Yes, Sonak. See, no, this is logical. This is common sensical. If I want to have the maximum area, सबसे पहले क्या करते हैं? जिंदगी में कुछ भी अगर आप चाहोगे कि we want to fill in something, how do you do that? You start filling it from the corner. Yes or no? Tell me something. Don't you do that? If I ask you, if I give you a mithai ka dabba and I ask you to fill in laddus over there, how would you start filling it? Tell me. How do you fit that? Yeah, Rohit. From one corner, now I think you got it. Now, this is I think, the best example which clears this thing for you. Okay? Exactly, Tathagata. कीर्ति करी खा जाऊंगी नहीं तुम्हें ओके अगर तुम्हें इसमें भरना है तो राइट सो नाउ आई थिंक ये वैसे बड़ी अच्छी बात है teaching teaches one thing like being a teacher there are so many queries that you guys ask and when I give you the example even I start thinking myself that oh wow how things can be related. I did not think it before taking the class, isn't it? Cool. That's why teaching is the best way of learning. Getting it? And that's why some people explain things better. Some people do not, even if you know all the mathematics. It's just that how practically can you relate it to the real world. Anyways, let's go to the, okay, polygons, we are doing that only. Nothing new over here. Regular hexagon. Exactly, Rohit. So, regular hexagon. I think we discussed a question on this, isn't it? So, regular hexagon, Devi, root 3 by 4a square is less than 1, इसको maximize करें तो हो सकता है क्या? That's what I'm saying. No, Devi, in that case, you will have to, okay, I know you are trying to use calculus. In that case, you will have to find an equation which relates the side of the triangle to the side of the square, then only you can try to minimize or maximize, isn't it? That is the only way. Okay, so we discussed this. I'll just show you something more. A regular hexagon. So it is made by 6 equilateral triangles. All right. Regular मतलब क्या होता है? When all the angles are same. So all angles 60 degree over here. And if I assume the side of it to be A, then the side of the area of one triangle here will be root 3 by 4 a square, and because here we have 6, just multiply this by 6. You will cancel it and you get 2 root 3. Sorry, 3 root 3 a square by 2. That will be the area of a regular hexagon. Is that clear? Understood, everyone? All right. Yeah, Shali, root 3 by 4 multiplied by a square will be the area of one equilateral triangle. And as I told you, I showed you already that a regular hexagon is made by combining 6 equilateral triangles. So if I want to find the area of a regular hexagon, I'll multiply it by 6. I'll multiply the triangle with 6. That's it. Clear? Shali and Gunjan? Exactly, Rohit. That's the thing. Formula to derive, formula or I always felt that formulae are nothing but generalized observations. And one can derive any formula whenever they want. Nothing much over there. Okay, cool. Before going on further, let me take you through a walk through polygons. So polygons can be of different sides, different types. And normally we deal with regular polygons in CAT questions. So Srinita, how root 3 by 4 a square? We discussed that in the previous class. Area of an equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 a square. Srinita, I think you missed the class. Or probably you forgot the formula. Right. Okay, so polygons. Polygon is basically, if I try to define polygon is a closed figure with some sides. Let's say n sides. All right, let's say n sides. So the minimal polygon, will be a triangle. A triangle has 3 sides, isn't it? We discussed earlier also. Then you have quadrilaterals. We discussed that as well. Pentagon can be there when you have 5 sides. It can be hexagon when we have 6 sides, so on. Okay. When we say the polygon is regular, then all sides and all angles are equal. Now, let me show you a beautiful technique to find the sum of all the interior angles of a polygon. Okay? Yeah, Yash, I'll answer your query. So let me assume a triangle. It can be any triangle, equilateral, scale, whatever. We don't really care. Now I want to find, you know, what I want to find. I want to find the sum of these angles: alpha plus beta plus gamma. That is what my motive is right now. Alpha plus beta plus gamma. Now how to find that? What needs to be done? What can be done? So all of you, listen to me carefully. I'm extending these sides. Extending this one. Then let me extend this one, and let me extend this one. Tell me something. Can I say this one is 180 degree minus alpha? Any problem there? We can say that? Right? We can also say this and this as well. Now, what I'm going to do in geometry, I'm going to tell you things which are not there in NCERT books or in any textbook that we have gone through in our schools and colleges. I'm going to tell you the way Euclid thought, the father of geometry thought. सीधा बाप से पढ़ेंगे हम, ठीक है? We won't follow any facilitating book or any facilitator directly. How Euclid must have thought it. Okay, let's do that. Ready? So we have this with us. Perfect. Now, Euclid must have thought, let's try to shrink it. Shrink. Okay? Shrink it. So I'm going to apply force, pressure from all possible directions. All possible directions. क्या होगा? ये triangle shrink हो जाएगा. Ultimately, I'll get something like this, in which this guy is 180 degree minus alpha. This guy is 180 degree minus gamma, and this one is 180 degree minus beta. Cool? Right? And all of us know that angles around a point is 360 degree. So we have this point, angles around it is sum should be 360. Let's add all of it. If I add all of it, I'll get 540 degree minus alpha plus beta plus gamma. This will be equal to 360 degrees. Let's solve it. So you will get alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to 540 minus 360. That's what you're going to get. Yes, triangle. Oh, ho gaya. Shrink ho gaya. I just shrunk that, right? So we have alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to 540 minus 360. Makes sense. 180 aa jayega, theek hai. All of us know that. But I'm going to write it this way only. You know, Manshi, Varsha, Anushka, others. मुझे मेरे दिल में कुछ मन है मेरा पता क्या करने का. Because I'm thinking like Euclid. Now my motive is not to get the answer, right? My motive is to generalize it. सोचो हम यूक्लिड सोच रहे हैं तो हमें यूक्लिड वाला ही काम करना है. हमें इसका आंसर माइनस करना हम सबको आता है. वी आर नॉट कंसर्न अबाउट दैट. लेट्स राइट इट दिस वे ओनली एंड लेट्स सी व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. ओके, आई कैन टेक 180 कॉमन And now I have 3 minus 2 inside the bracket. All I want you guys to remember is this, 180 into 3 minus 2. If you're making the notes, just note it there, 180 into 3 minus 2. Okay, now I'm going to use it for a quadrilateral, any kind of quadrilateral. Na square and a trapezium में कुछ नहीं, बस quadrilateral है. Okay, so here this one is alpha, this one is beta, this one is gamma, this one is delta. Let me extend the sides. I got 180 degree minus alpha. इसको ऐसे कर देते हैं, 180 degree minus beta. Let's do it like this, 180 minus gamma, and इसको ऐसे कर दो. So we got 180 degree minus delta. This is something which is not told in the books. I'm sure none of you must have done it this way. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to apply force, pressure from all sides, and what do I get? हाँ रोहित वही आने वाला है, तुम कह रहे हो. So if I do that, so I will get something like this. ये ऐसा हो जाएगा, ये ऐसा हो जाएगा, and we have the values. This is 180 degree minus delta. I hope now you get it. 180 degree minus alpha. This is 180 minus beta, right? And this is 180 degree minus gamma, gamma, right? If I add all of it, 180 चार बार कर दिया. So I have 4 into 180. अब मैं से multiply भी नहीं करूँगा. You know what? Because I want to generalize things. Minus this thing, alpha plus beta plus gamma plus delta. This should be equal to 360 again, isn't it? And 360 itself is 180 into 2. So I can write alpha plus beta plus gamma plus delta is equal to 180 common leke. I'll get 4 minus 2 inside the bracket. Isn't it? That makes sense. हर्ष, ये ना स्कूल वाले टीचर्स को आता है कि नहीं आता है, ये इस पे हमें डिस्कस करना नहीं चाहिए. You know why? The thing is, see, I'm not a regular teacher. I'm a practicing mathematician. I hope you know that. तो होता क्या है ना, teachers were once students. So let's say some of you become teachers in future. So probably you will follow some techniques which I did. So it's all about what is being taught. Understood? Because Sikh, क्या होता है Sikh religion based on disciple and guru. So all the gurus were earlier disciples, isn't it? So all the people in this world are students and teachers at the same time. You always are giving some gyan and receiving some gyan from everything and everyone. तो बात ये वाली है. Vedanti, I think I'm doing that. I think I told you earlier also. I'm making some curriculum for teachers as well. So हो जाएगा वो. Of course, Manshi can do Pentagon also. Do you want me to do that? I think you guys can do it on your own. है ना? करूँ Pentagon या खुद कर लोगे? Should I do it? चल जल्दी से कर देते हैं. I'll be really quick. That's a pentagon. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. पैटर्न क्या बन रहा है दिखाई नहीं दिया अभी. ओके चलो देखते हैं, जल्दी कर देता हूँ. This is 180 minus alpha. This is 180 minus beta. This is 180 minus gamma. This is 180 minus delta. And this is 180 minus epsilon. So I'm just going to add them up. 5 multiplied by 180 minus alpha plus beta plus gamma plus delta is equal to 360. After contraction, I think you know how to contract it, right? So alpha plus beta plus gamma plus delta, epsilon bhi hai yahan pe, plus epsilon is equal to 180 taking common, we have 5 minus 2. See, this thing is always 180 into 2, isn't it? In all the cases, this was this only, 180 into 2, 360. We have this now. So what is happening? What is happening? Let's take a quick revision. In case of triangles, I got sum of interior angles is 180 into 3 minus 2. In case of quadrilaterals, I got 180 into 4 minus 2. In case of pentagon, I got 180 into 5 minus 2, isn't it? So what is changing? What is constant? 180 is constant, 2 is constant, only 3, 4, 5 is changing. So 3, 4, 5, etc. So 3, 4, 5 kahan se aa rahe? It's number of sides. So if I talk about an n-sided polygon, n can be anything, then I'll just replace this by n. So what is variable? So now you understand. Now you know that why things are n, x, etc. Because these are the variables, and because of variables, we tend to get generalized results. जिसको लोग formula बोल देते हैं. I call them generalized results. Is that clear? All polygons. Love. देखो मैंने कोई भी regular polygon बनाया नहीं है. Isn't it love? I made a scalene triangle. I made a quadrilateral. It can be anywhere. It works for all sorts of polygons, not just regular. Here. Now we have this with us. Sum of triangles is of course 360. Aditya, exactly. So see, अब दूसरा जो बोला आदित्य ने was also a formula like you guys just crammed it up. So when I was contracting everything, I was doing 360 everywhere. Yes or no? Right? Be it triangle, be it quadrilateral, be it pentagon, be it whatever gun. Right? So when I was contracting, I got 360. When I contracted that, what did I get outside? It was nothing but the exterior angles only, which was always constant. 180 into 2 यहाँ लिखा है मैंने. This is always constant. This is nothing but sum of all the exterior angles of all sorts of polygons. Clear? Yes, देखो 5 into 180 है वहाँ पे, and 360 is 2 into 180. तो 180 कॉमन ले लिया, 5 minus 2 कर दिया, right? Perfect. So let's go further. Just one more thing which I need to tell you. All these polygons that we have drawn, and all maximum polygons, we call them convex polygons. बोले convex polygons, convex lens दिखाई दे रहा है, and others are concave polygons. So if you remember the convex lenses and concave lenses, convex mirror and concave mirrors, do you remember that? So if a mirror was like this, we call it convex. Remember that? And if it was like this, we call it concave. Do you remember that? Right? So in convex polygons, what happens? All the angles, like theta, all the angles are less than 180 degrees. All the angles. Okay? And in concave polygons, some angles, not all, some angles can be greater than 180. Now you're thinking, कैसे हो सकता है? Some can be greater than 180 degrees. Optics, yeah, Shubhajit. In CAT, we don't have physics. I love physics a lot. In physics, we can have more relatable examples. If anybody loves physics, if you have read that book called Resnick and Halliday, the best book, at least for till class standard 12th. Mimansha, I just told you, when all the angles are less than 180, which we have been doing abhi tak, when some angles greater than 180, it's a concave polygon. Exactly, Rohit. बिल्कुल सही बात है. Irodo, very good, nice book. So now I'm going to show you a polygon. चलो देखो, मैं तुम्हें concave polygon दिखाता हूँ. Concave quadrilateral. Look at this. This is a concave polygon, isn't it? Because you can see here that this angle is greater than 180. Getting it? H.C. Verma भी, हाँ सारंग, H.C. Verma काफी उनसे तो ठीक है. Of course, it's a good book. Is this clear? This is concave. This is a concave quadrilateral. Look at this. Here, these angles are less than 180, which I have marked by white ink with yellow ink. 1, 2, 3, 4. These ones are concave. Exactly one, a concave triangle cannot exist. The minimal concave polygon would be a quadrilateral. Understood, everyone? This is concave. ठीक है? The concave polygons. Now, tell me, what is this? Is this a concave polygon? No. These kind of figures are known as stars. This is a star. Looks like this only. So, in stars, what happens? The lines cross through each other, but in polygons, they don't. Clear? Yeah, Janti, of course. When the lines overlap or intersect each other, those are stars. But other things which look like stars, some people say this is a star. People say that, but this is not a star. This is actually a concave polygon. Getting it? Understood? Minimum convex तो triangle होगा, minimum concave will be quadrilateral. ऐसा नहीं. Shubhangi, I told you, even if one angle is more than 180, it will be concave. Okay, Shubhangi? Even if one. Just like case of obtuse triangles. याद है obtuse सिर्फ एक angle 90 से बड़ा था. Clear? हर्ष कैसे हो concave? This angle is more than 180. So is this. This more than 180 है ना? Understood all of you? शुभम आते हैं उस पे स्टार एंगल से कितना होगा? We'll do that. Clear? Okay. Here comes the first question. ये हो चुका है एप्लीकेशन में हुआ है क्या? चलो लेट मी रिमूव दिस वन. ये भी हो चुका है क्या? Rathika, I didn't do that. I think it was in there. application class. First application class, okay. लाइव क्लास मैंने कराया था. चलो कहीं भी हुआ हो. ऑलराइट, लेट्स डू दिस वन. विराट कोहली आउट हो गया. वाह. There's some problem with this question. Question ये है ही नहीं actually. T is midpoint of CD और ये AB के midpoint से बात करना चाह रहा है. The question is wrong. You know. Let's have another one. Let's do this one. If the area of a hexagon is equal to a triangle of side 12. हाँ ये करो. This is right. नहीं 3 नहीं आएगा. I know how we got 3, but it's wrong. Oh, nice, Yash. That's how you can solve it, right? Simple, eh? Root 3 and root 3 gets cancelled. 2 2s are 4, 72, 24. 24 is equal to a square. 2 root 6 is the answer. Perfect. It's 2 root 6. It's easy, yeah. Here we have an octagon. Okay, so tell me, everyone, what will be one angle of an octagon? This one angle. Tell me. I'm making a question because I know the question that I'm making would be better questions for cat. चलो तो इजी हो गया. 180 into 8 minus 2 sum of all the angles and upon 8 will be one angle. All of you can do that, right? I know. 270, right? It's 270, isn't it? $180 is the answer. Okay, perfect. Now that is okay, done. Now you guys have understood. I was doing this just to make you realize that you guys have done all the formulae. Now try to solve this question. Mind bender 1. So in every class I'm doing some mind bender questions. Let's do this one, and yes, you're going to enjoy it. You have 5 minutes for this one. Convex is less than 180. Convex is less than 180. Rohit, अभी बताया था मैंने. In case you guys have forgotten, just writing it for the sake of referring. Convex angles, these are less than 180. Okay, we did that. And concave are more than 180. Okay, don't forget. Chalo, solve this question. Tulika asks, all vertical lines are parallel? Of course, there's no other way. Right, Tulika? All vertical are parallel, all horizontal will also be parallel. If the figure is closed, of course, it's going to happen. We have a cat में किस type of question आएंगे, nobody knows. This can actually come. Actually, lines cannot cross each other, they're polygons. It is a polygon, right? If it is a polygon, it can't cross each other. Zero लग रहा है. See, zero is not the answer. So basically, it's a closed figure and it's a concave figure as well. मुझे लिखना चाहिए यहाँ पे. Close छोड़ दो. मैं इसको नहीं काम करता हूँ so that you don't get confused. I'm just writing it as a concave polygon. अब ठीक है? अब तो zero आ नहीं सकता. It is a polygon, concave. अब यहाँ दो चीज़ें हो सकती हैं. पहले आपने देखा कि everything was 90. That you did. Now, there are two kinds of angles. Either they will be 90 or they will be 270. Yes or no? Do you understand this? Right. So, Chinmay, yeah, angles will be 90 degrees. They can be 270 also in case of concave one. Right? So, we can have some figures like this. You know, we can have a figure like this. See. Ye dekho. This is 90, but this is 270. Isn't it? This one is 90 degrees. Just like a staircase. A staircase is one such concave polygon. Vihana, I just explained that. अब समझ में आ गया होगा 90 or 270. Now you guys can approach. I'll give you the hint. Chinmay, now you can think of it, right? A staircase. Ratrika, you know, I have told it a lot of times that I think once I told you, you are really good. In the first, second class, probably. जॉन में लाइन्स अगर हॉरिजॉन्टल वर्टिकल होंगी 270 कैसे 270 ही तो है ये. But I tell you that I think I told you in one of the classes that you have got a very good thinking style. Just be like that. 270 कैसे 270 ही तो है भाई. अगर ये 90 डिग्री है तो बचा हुआ 270 तो होगा. Because 90 plus 270 is 360. है ना? Right. Sayak, very good. Perfect. Sayak, you also think really good. I'm so happy. So many people are thinking this way. And these are the people who are going to crack CAT. Logical, imagination, visualization. So, I don't have a blank sheet or blank slide over here. I think I should just make a blank slide. New slide. Okay. That is going to be my blank slide. All right. So, see, so what happens? You know what? I just tell you that how I approached this question when I was given this question. So it was like, you know what I did? Sayak, I love you, man. I thought of a paper exactly the same way. And when I thought of paper, see what happened? It's a square, a convex square. I have 90-degree angles, right? And as I made a table, okay. So convex, in this case, convex with 90 only, and concave. In this case, we have only 90 and 270, nothing else. So when I made this figure, I saw there are 4 convex angles and 0 concave angles. Great, well done. What else? Now, the moment I chipped a corner, cut a corner like this, you know what happened with me? I think you know what happened. This is what happened. So my mind told me that 3 angles were not harmed. These 3 were not harmed. ये 3 तो रहेंगे ही रहेंगे. And one convex angle was cut out. One convex angle was cut out, and one concave was formed. Is that true? And 2 new convex were also formed. So what exactly happened? What exactly happened? While doing this, I formed 1 convex and 1 concave extra. Can I say that? I'm repeating, all of you. Tell me, visualize. Can I say, while doing this, I made 1 convex and 1 concave extra? Yes or no? Is that true? 1 convex extra and 1 concave extra. So now I have 5 convex and 1 concave. I did the same again. I did the same. Now I did it here as well. What happened? I made 2 convex and 2 concave. Right. So now I have 6 convex angles and 2 concave angles. See, these are the convex ones with white ink, and with the yellow ink I'll mark the concave ones. जब मैं ऐसा कर रहा हूँ, मुझे एक concave extra और एक convex extra मिल रहा है. Basically, the difference between convex and concave, what was constant here? The constant was the difference between convex and concave, that remained constant. 4 में 0 गया 4. If I increase one angle each for convex and concave, then also difference will be 4 only. There's no other way, isn't it? So while cutting the paper, things are pretty clear, right? So whatever I have, if I have n convex angles, I'll have n minus 4 concave angles for sure. In this question, I had 24 convex, so we'll have 20 concave. Cheshta, your query, I think Aryan has answered that. How is that? Such a nice question, isn't it? Beautiful, right? This is going to be a short session because it is a follow-up session of polygons. In next, we'll be starting with circles. I don't want to start circles today because it will be information overload. But before you go, I'm going to give you a homework. Let's see how many of you do that. Yash, with practice. Don't worry. I think I'll bring in more mind benders. Yes. Chalo. Now I'm going to give you. Let me give you a homework. Ready for that? Homework. Take your homework. मजा आएगा. A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, A10, A11, A12, A13, A14, A15, A16, A17, and A18. I have these 18 vertices. Now I'm going to draw a star. So look at this star. 19, right? Total A0 to 18. We have 19. Tulika, in circles. We'll have it in circles. That is the next class tomorrow. All right. So see, I'm going to make a question, and you're going to enjoy it. A7, say if I don't like this. A14, cool. Go to A2, go to A9, A16, A4, A11, A18. Where is that? A6, A13, A1, A8, A15, okay, A3, A10, A17, A5, A12, A0. Wow, without lifting my pen, I did something. I just made a star. Okay, that is how stars are made. Notice that without lifting my pen, I started with A0 and ended at A0. Didn't I? This is your homework. Once you do that, your mind would start, what do you say? Will start oscillating in the alpha level of consciousness. Right now in beta, the moment you go to alpha, tomorrow when you come here, basically you will, if you solve this, you will be enlightened. If you don't solve this, try it out. Tomorrow's circles will look a cakewalk for you. निकालना ही है sum of all the integrated angles, A0 to A18. No, you don't draw that. ये नहीं करना. Take a screenshot and solve it and tell me the sum of all the angles on the vertices. The question is clear? A0 plus A1 till A18 का angle का sum is what you need to find. ईशा ने आंसर दे दिया. ईशा is so smart. ईशा कैसे आंसर दिया? You want to tell me? कहीं तुमने वही 180 into n-4 तो नहीं कर दिया जो ऊपर कोई बोल रहा था? तो ताकत ने वही बोल दिया. काफी मजा आ रहा है ना सॉल्व करने में कि इतना मुश्किल से बनाया डायग्राम इन्होंने. देखो हमने तो इसका 2 सेकंड में आंसर निकाल दिया है ना. You know what? That's a wrong answer. Wrong answer ईशा तथागत. और जो बाकी लोग करने वाले हैं 27 से लिखने रुक जाओ क्योंकि वो गलत है. लाइन्स ओवरलैप नहीं हो रही अंकित. जो 189 n-4 है ना, वो पता कहाँ काम आता है? ओनली 5 साइडेड स्टार. वो 7 में भी काम नहीं आएगा. Okay, try it out. See, thing is, I think I told you once that I keep on developing some theorems. So I developed a theorem for stars, a beautiful theorem, which I'll be telling you in the next class tomorrow. But till then, try to solve it. In my entire life, this question was solved by only 3 people. Only 3 people. ठीक है, देखते हैं अब चौथा कौन होता है. Okay. तो 306 नहीं होगा. Rajkumar, I think critical application geometry, it's an application class. Don't worry, I'll cover everything, even if it takes me more than 6 classes. No, Satvik, all points are not equidistant. जो बनाना है उसको Satvik, you can see, it doesn't really matter. I tell you what, thanks Jeet. Tell you what, see, if it talks about the sum of the angles, so even if all the points are equidistant or not, it doesn't really matter, Satvik. ये star regular है या नहीं, it doesn't really matter. Okay, because the sum of the interior angles is the same. Okay. Mala, this Mala is what a story. You know what? As I'm experiencing more and more, see, I am a person with mathematical scientific bent of mind. Everything I find to try to find the logic, science, and mathematical explanation. Certain things which us being humans cannot find because we have got limitations of 5 sense organs, right? Eyes, ears, skin, tongue, and nose. All of you know that. Then we have the 6th sense which people talk about in metaphysics. Probably we feel certain things which are out of sense organs. So things which are out of our sense organs are things which we have not yet discovered. So it's not that science lacks or mathematics lack, it's just that our sensibilities lack. You understand that? We are limited by our own sensibilities, by our own sense organs. That's the limit. People who cross those limits are called as enlightened people. And enlightenment, sometimes people think enlightenment is all about leaving all the material world aside and going in the search of God. No, not really. Enlightenment is understanding things crystal clear. When you realize that you have got a limitation automatically, all those things of the feelings like jealousy, all those 7 sins, or 4 in Hinduism, 7 in Christianity, right? Gluttony, envy, jealousy, lust, wrath, etc. Now you can control them because you have the exact logical explanation of everything. So I'm thinking this way, slowly and slowly, as I'm experiencing, getting to know more people. Like I talk to you, I talk to, let's say, 10,000 students every year, and all the students, their friends, their families keep on traveling. So I realized one particular thing, that the things which my sense organs cannot feel, but my mind can think about, let's try to go there. And when I try to went there, I've understood somehow it's coming to me. Right now, it's a kind of confession. It's coming to me, something which is called as probably spirituality, and it's not just the fashion sense which is there in this mala or in this outfit. It's just that somehow I'm feeling that these are the instruments to focus on things which our sense organs not really can focus on. So in that pursuit, I'm going to travel everywhere, probably the entire world, and if it is possible, to Mars as well, if it's possible in my living life and I have that kind of money, to know what this universe is all about. Okay, try to solve this star question. We'll meet tomorrow. Answer is not 2880.